What is going on, guys? We are less than a week out from the Spring Major happening in Boston. So today we're going to be running through our predictions for this event. So without any further ado, let's jump right on into it. Starting out up top here with Vitality and Elevate. This should be a surprise to absolutely no one. Vitality clears Elevate, no problem. I don't see there being any issues there. Now things get interesting going down the way. You have Complexity and Team Liquid. Team Liquid easily one of the most impressive mechanical teams in EU, but they're also one of the least consistent performing teams. So with that in mind, Complexity probably has a better percentage chance to win if they both play at like their base level. I think Complexity's floor is higher than Liquid's, so I think I'm going to give this to Complexity, but I think it's going to be close. Moving on, Team BDS and Gen G. Gen G hasn't looked overly impressive this split. They snuck in with a miracle win coming through from Optic over FaZe. I don't see them doing much here against BDS. I'll give them a game, though. Moving on, Crew and Rule 1. This one's interesting. So, Crew is a very defensive team. It turns out a lot of the South American teams like to play very defensively. Rule 1 is probably going to be the exact opposite. I haven't watched a whole lot of Rule 1, but the MENA region tends to be fairly aggressive. So this one could be very interesting. Rule 1 coming in with their first match ever on LAN. They can meet Crew. And you know what? Just for the fun of it, we're going to start off with a hot start from MENA, cutting through Crew and moving on to the next round. Space Station and Power. Space Station, just a very solid fundamental team. They don't tend to do anything too flashy all that often. They're just extremely solid all around. I don't have a whole lot of hope for the OCE teams. My predictions last major put some hope in the OCE teams, and it was not rewarded. So, with that in mind, we're going to roll this for Space Station. We'll give a game to Power, though, just to be fun. Then you have Carmine Corp and Ground Zero. Next question, please. Furia and Moist. Now, this one is, again, very interesting. Moist has been very consistent in Europe, but has not been incredibly impressive. If they pop off, they're going to pop off hard because you have two players that have incredible peak ability in Cash and Joyo. The question is going to be, do they actually show up, or is it another slow start for them? With that in mind, I don't think I can in good conscience give this to Moist. So we're going to go Furia 3-1. And then that takes us on to the last match in round 1 in Optic versus NIP. Optic coming in very hot off of the incredible reverse sweep over FaZe. Redo's going absolutely crazy with the demos. I can very easily see Optic taking this, and in fact, I will give it to them 3-1. So that sets up our upper quarterfinals here. Starting off, we got Vitality versus Complexity. Again, not much of a question here. I think Vitality takes that down. And now Rule 1 against Team BDS. The smart pick here says to go with BDS. They've been extremely consistent in Europe, which is an incredibly difficult region to be consistent in. But there's always the little bit of hope in the back of our minds for MENA. Of course, last season, it was the Spring Major that the Falcons absolutely popped off and were one series away from winning. So you know what, maybe there's a little bit of MENA magic in the spring. Let's call an upset here for Rule 1 over Team BDS. Moving on, Space Station against Carmine Corp. I'm sorry, Vatira, Exotic, Itachi, too good. Carmine Corp takes that one. And then we have Furia versus Optic. Furia, again, the higher ceiling. This one could be very close. I think I like Furia in a very close series. Moving down now to the lower bracket, we start off with Elevate and Team Liquid. Sorry, APAC, but you have a wicked hard draw here. Vitality into Liquid. Good luck with that one. Gen G versus Crew. Sorry, Sam, but I think you got a bad luck draw here as well. Gen G, I think, are taking that one home. Power and Ground Zero. Unfortunate for OCE to be matched up against each other. Only one can make it out of this round, and the reward for beating each other is Team BDS. Wow, what a prize. Ground Zero Power. I like Super Lucky a lot, so I think I'll give it to Ground Zero in 5. Moist and NIP. NIP, this is their first ever event. They probably shook off some nerves after their series against Optic, but I just don't see them doing much here. So just like that, 2 series in, APAC's gone, both SAM teams are gone, and 1 OCE team is gone, and the only reason both are not gone is because they played each other. It feels a little bad to lose both SAM teams, because they have been fairly consistent performing recently. Now I'm thinking about it. Crew and Gen G? You know what? No, let's make this interesting, shall we? I'm gonna do what you're not supposed to do, and go against my first judgment. We're gonna send Crew through, actually. Yeah, I don't know why, that just feels right. Crew into lower round 2. Cool. Moving on. Optic and Team Liquid. Oof. This is a tough matchup because with Optic's physical playstyle, it really relies on your opponent being on the ground a lot, and that's something Liquid doesn't tend to do. They tend to be in the air quite often, so this one's gonna be tough for Optic. And unfortunately, I just don't see a world where they take down Team Liquid. I love Optic. I wish them nothing but the best in this event, but I don't see a world that they get through Team Liquid here. Space Station and Crew. You know what? Sam has a run going. Why not keep it going? Crew 3-2 over Space Station. Wouldn't be that shocking. That seems like a battle of 2 very defensive teams. It'll just be a question of which one's defense breaks first. Crew definitely has a chance there. Team BDS Ground Zero. No question. On to the next. And now you have Complexity versus Moist. There's already only 2 North American teams left. And they're both all not from North America. Perfect. Exactly what we should expect, honestly, with how North America's been performing. So that's not surprising. Complexity, Moist. I actually think Complexity has a very good shot at taking down Moist. Moist has not been incredibly impressive, so we're gonna go Complexity. We'll make it close. Why not? Alright, so that solidifies our top 8. Team Vitality, Carmine Corp, no surprises there. Liquid and BDS, all top 4 from Europe are here. And then a bit of a surprise, you got Rule 1 and Furia in the upper bracket, and Crew and Complexity. Complexity is not much of a surprise in the lower. So, lower round 3. Team Liquid and Crew, as well as Crew is doing. I think this is where their run unfortunately comes to an end. I think Liquid will be heating up as we go through here. And same thing for Complexity as well. We'll go 3-2 here, but I don't see a world that they get through BDS. BDS is just too solid. Back to the upper bracket. Rule 1's Fairy Tale run will unfortunately also come to an end here. 4-2 Vitality, I think that's fair. And now Carmine Corp Furia. This one could be very close and very interesting for sure, but I think I'm going to give it to Carmine Corp in a 4-3. Fantastic. Whoopsie daisies. Back to the lower side. Rule 1 and Team Liquid. Do I think Rule 1 could take down Team Liquid? Yes, absolutely, I think they could. Is it likely? No. Not at all. So, with that in mind, and it not being likely, we're gonna go Liquid here. And again, 4-2 fashion, sending Mina home, and meaning our last hope for any region outside of EU is Furia against Team BDS. Again, a series that could be very close, but when you have Rise on your team, who's just been a monster on LAN... Oh, Rise versus Yan, though. Ooh. End card. Ooh, this is the battle of, like, the LAN GOATs, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Furia BDS. You know what? Just to supply a little bit of hope to the North American team that's not from North America, we're gonna give it to Furia. Just to let the North American dream live on just a little bit longer. So your top 4, Team Vitality, Karmine Corp. Who could have seen that coming? Surprise of the century, I know. Lower semifinal, you got Team Liquid and Furia. Honestly, very plausible. So, looking at the lower semifinal, Team Liquid versus Furia. You know what? Let's keep the miracle. Do I keep the Miracle Furia run going? They've been trucking along here pretty well. Team Liquid has been on a long lower bracket run at this point. No, I can't see it. I'm going Liquid. 4-2. Back to the upper side then. Team Vitality and Karmine Corp. Story as old as time. They've done it once, but I don't think they do it in the upper final. If they're gonna get a win, I think it's in the grand final. Coming back down, Karmine Corp and Team Liquid. I think Karmine Corp takes down Team Liquid pretty much every day of the week. And that takes us to our grand final. A replay of the Spring Cup Grand Final, which was the only series that Team Vitality lost. But I don't think it happens again. I think Vitality gets things done in one attempt, and just like that, they become your Spring Major champions, winning 4 events in a row, and not dropping a single matchup all the way through it. So that'll do it for my predictions there. I think a lot of people will be predicting Team Vitality to win. I think it's hard to justify not picking them to win currently. And I think for pretty much anyone, their predictions probably need to have an EU team winning. I don't see a world where any of the North American teams can comfortably stand up to the likes of Vitality, Karmine Corp, Liquid, BDS consistently. Those teams are just too good. I think this is Europe's land to lose. But of course, this is why we do play the matches. Of course, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below this video so you make sure you don't miss any future Rocket League content. Additionally, if you'd like to be more involved in this community, please consider joining my Discord, link down in the description below. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys. And if you're looking for some more Rocket League entertainment, might I recommend checking out this playlist right here for some RLCS replay analysis. Or check out this video over here to see if you can guess what every rank in Rocket League will do next.